the freedom to choose your own goals to a game that seemingly hates you and is doing everything it can to make the process of reaching the end game as difficult and time-consuming as possible. Why would I engage in it?
I don't think it's that time-consuming. I think that's a little bullshit. I think Lost Ark compared to like a lot of other Korean MMOs, and just in general, I feel like if you play question mark, no, I feel like if you play like, dude, if you play a couple characters, like let's say you're a new player, what the fuck are you actually doing? Let's say you're like relatively a new player, you got 2 characters or something. You're literally logging on and doing nothing for like 30 minutes and you're off. For you, like he's talking about getting to the end game. For a new player, you're literally logging off. Like you got nothing to do. You do your dailies, me right now. That's what I'm saying. For us, at the end game, more developed. I think I heard ATK talking about this on Cannon's podcast. Actually, I kind of want to find it right now. Let's see if I can find this. And then tell me I was right.
Lost Ark should not be a roster game. It should be a one-character game. So people should adjust that to it. The reason why it became a roster game is because the amount of materials you need is so much to a point that you need multiple characters to get gold and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You make additional characters if you want to play new character, if you want to play different play styles.
Hey, get down.
Right? So Jumpstart. Then when that happens, like that's why also like Makoko Express comes out, right?
Where is it?
Since I'm limited to 6 anyways, you raise it up. You raise that character up with the Makoko Express. You try a new character, right?
Come on, motherfucker.
And then you do it. But imagine, dude, some people in my chat probably makes way more gold than I do because they grind way more than I do. I heard some people have like 18, 15, 80s. That's crazy as shit. I don't know.
Who the fuck has 18, 15, 80s?
That's unreal. You should not do that. Like you should not play the game like that. And then they get, and then you know what they're gonna do after 1 month? It's like, oh, I'm so burnt out. This game requires so much time to hone. And I'm like, dude, you're honing your goddamn 9th character, man. That's why you're like, dude, that's why you're burning out. But that's why technically say I heard him say it too, like, and me as well. I have 1 character for Theomite Heart. Stain has technically 2 characters, but he wanted to make 1 character for Theomite Heart. And it's slowly becoming like that, right? And if it's a 1-character game, that's how it should be.
I told you, motherfuckers, right? The game is slow. You're gonna see. People were asking me yesterday or some shit. How many characters should I hone up? Or should I choose? It's slowly gonna get to a point where the game is just gonna be. It's like you have 1 big juicer, right? And when it becomes 1 big juicer,
and playing 1 character in this game is actually not that much time.
Yeah, it's very little time.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very little time.
compared to most MMOs, bro, you are not logging on Lost Ark that much. It's why you're not locking in, because it's the battle. My point is, it's fun. You want to play all your character. You want to play more, right? Sometimes you want to play more. That's why I'm saying they need to make it so I can play more on my 1 character. You know what I'm saying? I want to, or like, let me play more on my 1. I don't know how to do it though. That's not fucking hell mode though. I want to play more on my 1 character. I don't know how to do it. They need to do something because I want to play more. Dude, like sometimes I don't want to do I'll like do Procol because I'm bored. I mean, I want to do something else. Solo bosses or something. I don't know what it is, man. It's weird. It's a weird thing to balance. My point is that it's the game's slowly going to be becoming that, and then you can play a lot less. Anyway, this whole thing started because like a year ago, the advice was to make as many characters as you can, and eventually it's just not sustainable anymore. Unless you want to sit there at 1490, don't use any gold to hone, and just sell fucking leapstones from fucking Carl. Unless you want to do that, it's not worth it. And honestly, fuck doing that. That sounds miserable. And if you want to do that, go do it. That sounds fucking awful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. Or maybe you bust a lot. I don't know, But if you're just doing it to make some gold, I feel like it's just not worth it, bro. But if you're doing it, how many of you guys have realized that it's probably not worth it to maintain this crazy roster?
Stoopzz din KDONK.
But you do it because you want to play more. A 1 in the chat if you're maintaining this crazy roster. It's probably not worth it, but you do because you want to play more. That's kind of what it's like for a lot of people, I feel like. You know? So they should just open the way for people to play more. Thank God. Right? Why don't we just open the way for people to play more rather than doing this whole... Maybe it's just moolah, though. Maybe like, oh, make more characters so we make more money. I don't know. It's probably something. Roll gear is super cheap to get 5x3. It's super worth. No, but my point is, eventually, it's not worth it. Like, let me just put this. We did this yesterday, but it's like if you just look at. Okay, we did this yesterday or 2 days ago. So this is people were like talking. We were talking about the League of Villains and how they're free to play because most of their group was 1640. Like, or the team that cleared second. We looked at their gear. They were 1640. Right? So the entry level is 1630, right? To get to 1640, okay, from 1630, the raw gold is 1 million. Not the total cost. I don't have the maths added up. The raw honing gold is 1 million on an average scenario, right? Let's just say to get to like 16 fucking, I don't know, 1620 or something. Let's say you're 1600, right? Which is 1500. So let's go to 1610 for, you know, it just gets to a point where the mats are so fucking expensive that it gets crazy after a while, right? It gets so expensive to pay back yourself just in the raw gold that you're like, this ain't worth it. All right. Now in the early game, sure, but remember that's the early game. If you're trying to go forward, and then you gotta get these fucking elixirs. Because people are going to gatekeep you based on that. And it's a lot, you know? And so it's probably just better playing a couple characters. Like 2, 3. Right? Elixirs are expensive. The quality, all that stuff. It adds up. Right? So I would disagree at this point. I don't think it's that grueling to get to the end game. I don't think you have to play a shit ton. I think most of your time spent is going to be trying to get into groups. I feel like that's actually the struggle for a new player, right? Is it just getting into groups? You're going to spend most of your time doing that than actually playing, which honestly is a terrible gameplay experience, right?